Hi everybody, it's Gunny here. I want to talk to you about Geese, Howard, the Guild Raid, of course. There's a lot of videos out there now which show you really amazing high scores, but no one's actually talked about what's happening, why it's happening, and how you can avoid dying. And this is what this video is about. To cut it really short, this is the routine that I think that you should follow. However, there are some things that will happen, and if you watch the videos properly, you'll see the situations that these players are going through and how they adapt. I don't think there's actually a proper routine that is safe to just repeat. You need to be able to keep an eye on what's happening on the screen and adapt to certain situations. As you all know, Raising Storm is going to kill you if you don't deal with that the right way. So let's look at the cards, let's look at the strategies, let's look at the things that are going on in this situation for Guild Raid. It's really hard. It only comes up like every 2 weeks unless there's another one coming up, but we'll go through first of all the cards, right? So this particular rotation is with Kyo, Athena and Mai, and I know that Ignis has just come out and that he's really good, and you might be able to replace Athena with him, but check out the other videos. I still think the general idea is the same, and really the idea is quite simply put your best cards on. The Serena set is the best card set because it's quite simply going to give you that 10% buff, 10% buff, no, not even 10, but 13% buff with an extra 15 on top for 10 seconds, and that's really as much time that you're going to be on the screen for, give or take, and an off tag. Ultimately, the most important thing I think from all the runs that I've been doing, and you'll see me do a few different things, is you just basically need to keep doing super and time stall, but somehow manage to get the damage in while that's happening. You'll see what I mean soon. So you need a Serena set. If you don't have Serena set, best strongest cards that you've got. After that, a Kane set works well, and maybe if you've got something else, try and use that, but this is specifically good for tagging, and that's what it's for. Then you'll need a super armor card. This is the special signature super armor card. You'll need that because you'll be able to do some moves when you come in without being worried about getting hit by Geese, and this of course works with Rugal as well. That's the idea. So if you don't have this card, you'll have to change up your rotation, change up your routine. You need to think about doing your hyper armor move when you come in, otherwise bleh. So this is why people are able to come in and do a buffing move rather than just getting obliterated. Here now I use this card because I've got a 50% chance of starting extra buff on hitting on landing a strike skill. So if you've got a card similar to that, I think the Ignis card is similar to this as well. It works with a different kind of skill. I think I've got one over here, in fact. I wonder if I should actually use it. Hold on. Over here, mate. So you see the Ignis card. Oh, it's only for boss syndrome fighters. So again, this is going to be good for Ignis. But it's critical rate, so maybe not. What you really want is a... And this, I'm sorry, but this guild raid, it really is designed for collab and banner characters. I don't. We hope to find something, but I don't see it working for any other characters so far. Real pay to win wall there. No, not say you can't be lucky. Lucky free to play players have done this, and they do this. And I know some players that have got free start Ignis totally free to play. So I'm not saying, you know. Sorry, I didn't even talk about Mai, but there. Sorry, let me quickly go back. Sorry. I'll get this done quickly as possible. Same thing, Serena set. I've put on her the Krauser card because she's got a chance to get power gain after hitting someone with a skill. She's going to hit some skills. If you don't have that, you might want to use a Gintama PG gain card or the Leona card. But very importantly, again, if you don't have this card, you're going to need to think about changing your order. Maybe when she comes in, go straight into skill 1 for a hyper armor, because otherwise this will give you the super armor, and then you can do skill 2, which will give the buff, and everybody's happy, right? So then we've got Athena, same thing, and there's the armor card, and here's the Leona card. The Leona card will hand out the shock damage, won't get it, but she'll get the power charge rate when she attacks. Every little helps, right? The most important character to build PG gain is actually Mai in this setup, because in this rotation she's going to be doing 2 supers when she can. And if you can't do that other super, well, you're losing a couple of seconds, and every bit counts. For your striker characters, of course, you've got to buff them up as much as possible. Try to throw on stones. The two most, the highest CP bonus cards are the Christmas card and the Gintama card. There might be some new ones coming out. Check on the collabs. Maybe the Ignis card is good. Apparently it's very good actually. But I'm not sure it's as high as this one for Striker. So for Geese, I dropped on the Geese set. Same thing. And again, the stones, put some stones on. They're all going to work. Here, I'm just showing you stuff. But of course, this will actually be Yashiro. I'll just chuck her on now anyway, because it's just demonstration. Another live presentation, because I hate editing. I haven't got time for that jazz. So of course, this week it's actually Rugal, so you'll need Shanfei. And then for the darkness, you'll need Lady Geese. Where? Don't do this to me now, man. I'm currently recording and I'm not going to edit this. Hold on. Where's she gone? She should be high up here because she's been buffed to hell. And yeah, there she is. Oh my gosh, man. I was like, she's blonde. No, she's not. Anyway, chuck on whatever cards you've got to boost that CP. Stick on the stones. Every little counts, right? Right. So as we said about the rotation, right? Let me just put that back on the screen. We said, right, when you start with Kyo, you're going to do skill 2 first, because skill 2 has your hyper armor. Although, skill 1 actually inflicts internal flame. And a lot of people in some videos just do 1, 2, 3. I do 2, 3, 1, but I might change it again because I figure, right, after you do skill 2, you get the damage increase. So I thought 2, 3, 1, damage increase from the 2 to the 3 to the 1, rather than 1 without a buff. It's a split second, so it's up to you. You could just do 1, 2, 3. Might be easier to remember. So skill 3 actually will give you a chance of reset, so you go back to skill 2, and you get another buff. So you've got to do these. You've got to do 2, 3 minimum. So that's something you need to think about. You've got to do 2, 3 at some point, and that's another thing. When you're going through the rotations, you can't just do super, 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 super because you run out of moves and you run out of PG. So you need to put in these skills at some point during your rotation. So back with my. Once again, the skill 1's not important. That's only for hyper armor and a bit of damage. It's really about the 2. The 2 is going to give you the buff plus the burn. It's like, wow, both of Kyo's skills in one move. And then skill 3, again, another buff. So 2 and 3, really important. Then you do the 1. That's it. That's universal. Everybody agrees with that one. Right. Then we go to Athena. And I can already tell you skill 1 is skill 1. I'm like yeah, skill 1 is the one that does the starlight damage, and you start like that. And it's interesting. Now you can make it your mind, right? I just do it like this because I feel like the starlight damage, it starts my thing, and I'm like, right, yeah, don't really need to do it. Skill 2 increases your buff. So maybe I should just do 2, 3, 1 again. Same thing as thingy, but I've got into the, when you get into the muscle memory, the robot memory, you're just like, okay, whatever, man. So you might want to do 2, 3, 1. I do 1, 2. Actually, I do 1, 1, 3, 2. You know why I do 1, 3, 2? Because I do 1 starlight damage, 3 hyper armor, then 2 can roll. It's multiple hits on the Phoenix roll, and every hit is a chance to give you PG gain. So I want that PG gain. And that's why I don't do 1 at the end, because the 1 will cancel the roll. That's why I do it. You see that? Smart, Gunny, smart. Yes. Not just a pretty face. Right. Anyway, so there we go. Those are the skills. Those explaining why we do them now. Notice it says awaken when possible. And I say lol because it really depends. If Geese is about to just blow up, then don't do it. It's as simple as that, right? If you look like you've got suddenly lots of space, lots of time, because Geese is just like crouching on the floor, tying his shoes or something, okay, let's go for an awakening. That's it, right? Let's have a look at this in action, right? And And here we're going to look at some reasons or some things, situations where things go incredibly wrong, right? Let's have a look. Okay, you see that? 2, 1, 3. Just ignore what I just did there. Right here. Now this is the expert run, but just don't worry, it's the same thing. Right. Okay, here we go. Calls in Kyo, and ultimately what you should be doing is as soon as you see your super, you go for it. If you do some skills first, he's actually going to break sooner. And that's bad because you'll lose... Oh look, I messed up. So there we go. You'll lose time. You'll lose time because if he fizzles out in the middle of your super, right, you've actually lost some seconds to actually do some damage. The free PGs of basically everyone, their damage is pitiful. It's terrible. You get much more skills. You get on average like 1 million per skill, right? And your free PG does an average of 3 to 4 million, right? Depending on how many stars you've got. 2 to 4 million, right? Over 7 seconds. In a split second, you can get 1 million damage. Look, just watch, right? Boom, 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 smack. And this is the first rotation, so you don't want to spend everything, right? You want to build that meter. So here he goes. And like I said, you let Atana roll, and she'll get that PG. Otherwise, you press all cancel buttons, you've got nothing, and you're dead. Don't forget, yeah, you call Striker at the end of doing Atana's things, so that the poison or the shock will start when Kyo comes in, and then Kyo can do his super. And you can see that the best time is to end just as it finishes. And a note there, if you don't have all the if you're not using the maximum cooldown cards, right, you'll notice the cooldown takes longer. So again, if you're trying to spam the buttons, it won't work. It will completely mess up. You've actually got to watch. This is the point there. You've got to watch the cooldown. And with Kyo, what I do is skill 1, skill 2, wait until you see skill 2 come back, and then do 3, 1, 2. So you can do that rotation. And actually, yeah, while this is going on, something bad's about to happen, I can tell you, right? I just want to quickly tell you about where your eyes should be looking when you're doing all this stuff, right? So I just want to pause that, right? So as I said, right, you do your skills, and especially when you're awakening, you do your skills, and you've got to look at the buttons. You look at the time. Don't press the button until that actually is ready to go, or as it's just about to go. And there's a thing called buffering, where you can hold your finger on the next button. Yeah, it kind of works, but it doesn't work when the screen goes black and it changes from a super, so you end up holding the button and nothing happens. But it can work for other situations. You might want to try it. It does help sometimes. Like you can hold your finger on the free PG, wait for it to turn up. Right. So after you've done your skills, right, you should be looking over on the left side. Use the C control method C. Keep your eyes on the thing so you know which character you're going to tag. If you just blindly press the button, you're going to end up with the wrong striker. So the wrong person, the next person to come in, not even striker, right? Right. I'll mention this again when it comes to that point. So you're coming in, boom, 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 boom. See, yeah, and that's it. That's actually the moment, right? When you know you're about to do your super, you need to go check on the left side, right, and look where your next character is. Because if you don't do that, you can end up mashing the button, because sometimes you need to, like in this situation right here, I need to have Atana immediately after the free PG. And if I press the first striker point, I'm going to get Kyo, and my rotation is dead, right? So you look to your left. Your eyes are going to be all over the place in this game, all over the place. Now, if you're cheeky at this point, you could do skill 1 and then tag. You're playing with fire. It's a millisecond, but you could do a little bit of extra damage. So you call in, and here is the point now. If you've done anything, you're in big trouble, right? You're in big trouble, right? The best thing in this situation, right, In fact, here is the mistake. So Atena comes in. What you should be doing here is watching, right? Hit your skills, whatever you like, right? Now, okay, there's two schools of thought here. It's don't care, do the free PG, get through the rotation, do. That's fine. You can do that if you've got time, if you can actually tag. Okay, fine. The other thing to do is just wait. Wait for Geese, hit him, and wait for him to raise his arms up, right? When he raises his arms up, goes for Raising Storm, then hit your free PG, and then you can cancel it and you're home free. But sometimes you're in robot mode and you just do it. And then he's like, okay, you hit me, that's great. But now I'm going to do Rising Storm. What are you going to do? The solution would be to chuck in Kyo and hope for the best. But remember, don't forget your striker, because otherwise, dead. So call in a striker, call in Kyo, tag in Kyo, go for that free PG. You've got to hit that thing ASAP. He's just gonna do Rising Storm again, and you're like, okay, I need this out. So you got to hope. You could try to roll out. But if I got lucky there, I actually got lucky there. You will get stunned, right? You will get stunned, and if he decides to touch you, you're dead. You're dead. You're just dead. At that point, I got lucky. There was a stun, and if he had touched me with that Genshiken, you are dead. So I've seen some cases where you can awaken out of it or tag, but usually you're just stuck. But just hit the awakening button. That's the best thing you can do. Don't try to go for your hyper armor move. Go for to tag or the awakening button. That's the only thing I think that can save you. All right. No. Well. Yeah. No. This music is like, no. We don't need that. It's fine. What? Why not? Geese again. That's fine. Don't kill me, Mr. Howard. So there we go. Boom, 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 boom. And look, if you saw the amount of bar he had left, he's gonna get what I would say crumpled like really early, and that means you've got much less time to do some actual damage. Look, for half his bar is already gone. This game is weird. So at this point, and look, I pressed it too soon. Let me just rewind that again. I pressed it too soon, so I was not able to cancel my moves properly because I wasn't paying attention. Spamming, don't spam, pay attention. So you've got to look over on the right, look at your skills when you flex them. Awaken, bomb, 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 and then tap. I tapped it too early. So skill 2 didn't come out, skill 2's popped up, and I'm already moved on to skill 3, which isn't ready as well, and nothing's happening. And Kyo's standing around there going like, what do you want me to do, bruv? If you don't pay attention to those things. Another thing you could do with Awakening is do it before, like I said before, you call your super, but don't do it when he's about to do Rising Storm. Do it when he's on the floor, kneeling and stuff. After getting cancelled by Atena. Let's see if we can recover from this now. So Atena comes in, and again she's just like, Rising Storm? Nah, it's okay, I'll just do this. Because ideally you're meant to be time stalling as well, but things will happen. And there I'm not even sure I called in a striker. It's a bit of a mess. But yeah. Right. There we go. So now we're in big trouble. So what we're trying to do is literally burn the time away, right? Because Geese's fire, just call it gas. Geese's gas seems to last about 5 to 7 seconds. So for example, if you do Kyo's free PG at the beginning, you will hear it go psst, it will fade out. And so here, if Geese is broken, you're okay. You just need to do your invincible moves, you'll survive. You can keep hitting him, don't worry about it, right? That's great. But if he's awake, you're pretty much dead. The best thing to do in that situation is throw supers at him to break him, and it is Hail Mary. That's it. There's nothing you can do. If that gas hits you and you get stunned and he's awake, you're dead. There's the Rising Storm, and I'm like, oh my gosh. If you can do Atena's free PG while that guy's hands are in the air, you're home clear, home safe. There, and there he's on the floor. See, literally at that point, if you wanted to, I don't know what I was thinking there, but you could tag in Kyo as soon as that happens and hit him a few times, because you remember you need to build that meter. But I need to build meter with Atena as well, so it's a bit of a... That's it. So ideally... Now see what I'm doing here is I burnt all my meter on Kyo and I went to end on Mai. Every time I try to record a one key victory, it just completely messes up, right? And I think that's normal. Just the pressure to perform. It's not too good when the camera's on. But technically, I think you are going to get your best result by just basically having a super skills, super skills, super skills. So Kyo, right? If you use a full awakening on with Kyo, you will like take off like 50 mil. But arguably, you're stretching out the time by doing lots and lots of supers, and it will take forever, like 6, 7, 8 minutes. But you'll get more damage in the long run. What a lovely way to spend your morning. It's like, oh right, I've got to go work. That's nice. I've got to make sure I get this thing working. Well, technically, it can get so much of a routine. It's not really a problem. But yeah, I think that's it. See, there's that situation again, and I'm like, what do you do? You call in Kyo, but make sure you call the striker. And you can see the green mist. I've done it. Yes. Oh yeah, wait for him to finish doing that stupid pose. Otherwise it's a waste. There you go. He's got just a bit left, and I was feeling I needed to just do that to make sure. Watch that damage. Well, okay, 540, whatever. 30, 40, 40 million, yeah, whatever. But arguably, it should be do a couple skills. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's a mess. Right, but the point is, these are things you can do to survive. This is not called a perfect rotation. You want to see perfect rotations? Go watch you know who, Bandal Gom and all the other nice video content makers. This is about surviving. It's like, what? Surviving and get a decent score. Knock this guy out. Don't worry about the gas anymore. It's fine. But do your supers as much as possible. Tag out. You can see him getting hit. And then that was actually wrong. But it's okay. I went for the timeout. But there we go. Right. Alright, there we go. So I think that's it. Let me just pause this music here. Right. And that's it. I could stretch this video out a lot longer, but I'm not gonna, because I've got other runs and you'll see me do it on stream. This is the idea. So I hope that was useful, just to remind you of what you should be doing, right? Right. You should be doing Geese versus Geese on Guild Raid, on Expert or Lunatic, doesn't really matter. Call Kyo, do 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 1. Oh gosh, completely forgot about calling the striker at that point. Yeah, 2 striker, because the striker is going to give you a buff as well. Sorry, it's a good thing conclusions, right? Catch up the summary. 2, 3, 2 striker, 3, 1, or 1 striker, 2, 3. Super fast buttons, right? 3 PG when you've got it, right? Then my 2 striker, 3, 1. Do the core, hope for the reset. Go 1, 2, 3 PG. Hey, easy bunny, right? And then Atena 1, 3, 2, no questions asked, right? And then after the 3 PG, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. Call your striker, tag in Kyo, and repeat. And then magically, when you've got a chance, do your awakening when possible. You can do it either before your 3 PG or after it, whatever. Just don't do it when Geese is actually about to do the Rising Storm. Otherwise, you will be dead, my friends. If you have any questions or any corrections, don't forget to check the comments. I will update the description as usual. Thanks to everyone for their tips and advice. Not everyone has the same routine. Some people have an amazing phone and it just runs so smoothly, and the rest of us, we're just like, hold on, I pressed a button. I'm sure it was completely wrong. It's nothing to do with my fat finger or my phone turning into a potato and slowing down. That's it. All right, good. We're good. See you next time, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the stream. Take it easy, everybody.